Hi everybody, it's Melinda. So I have a little bit of an inspired moment. I'm getting lots of feedback that you guys are really liking that, and I'm so glad that you enjoy these. So over the last little bit, I've put a couple posts on Facebook that have had a pretty profound effect in watching the ripple effect happening. It's kind of fun for me to do those, and so one of them was a picture of the Mad Hatter, and his head's down, and it's Johnny Depp in the more current version of Alice. And I love the Alice in Wonderland story. I love it for a number of reasons, and the quote that I posted was probably my favoriteest reason why I love this, why I love Alice in Wonderland so much. Is here's this woman who has all of these great imaginations and has these great fantastical ideas, and she finds herself in this mystical, magical world, and everything about it is just curious to her, curiouser and curiouser. And ultimately she is being put into a position of having to face something that's very scary, something that's very big, something that seems insurmountable. And right before she goes and faces it, the Jabberwocky is what she's out to go face. And her job is to go slay the Jabberwocky. And in slaying the Jabberwocky, first of all, she's like, no, I'm not doing this. This is not who I am. I don't slay. And the Mad Hatter says, you don't slay. And this whole idea that the people around her that are leading her along her journey know her deepest truth. They know that her job is to come and slay the Jabberwocky and to stand out there. And the White Queen says to her before she walks out, I always have to read it, is, Alice, you cannot live your life to please others. The choice must be yours. Because when you step out to face that creature, you will step out alone. And that's such a profound quote for me. It is such a profound idea that when we go to face our greatest fears, when we go to face those things, those obstacles within us that have provided limitation or kept us from really stepping into being our true authentic selves, it's because of that fear of being alone. It's because we do it alone. When we face our greatest fears, our Jabberwockies are our thoughts. Our Jabberwockies are the things that we've created, that have been taught to us, that we have perpetuated, and somehow, some way taking responsibility for those things within ourselves and knowing that we do slay. Yes, we do. We slay. And the things that we slay are the misperceptions within us. It's the negativity that is in us. It's the things that we were taught. And those are the things that we must stand out alone within ourselves and cut them down and choose. We choose to go stand in front of them. And another thing that I recently posted, which is really a very, very private, vulnerable place within me, is I know a number of you know that I'm very sensitive and that I've had some years of training and learning about that sensitivity and finding ways to manage it and navigate it. And it's been quite the journey for me, for sure. And in that journey, I have realized that there is a very powerful magnetic force of people who are of a very intuitive, empathic nature, drawing in this very narcissistic kind of personality, and the two just go right together. And they really are the perfect learning environment for both sides. And so in that, really seeing within myself those places that I need to slay, those ideas, those things within me that are really difficult, that are really scary. And someone posted this morning, I'm going to give her a shout out, hi Cindy, that she said, I was so touched by this comment, I need more Melindas. And there was another woman, Tammy, she said, I need more Melindas and Tammys in my life, people who are holding that positive idea, that positivity. And so to Cindy specifically, but also to every person out there, I think that what I've chosen to do in my life. I chose to stand within myself and slay those ideas within me. I chose to be Alice and hold that magical being within me. I chose that. Which means I have a lot of things. I have a lot of Jabberwockies that I have been standing up against. I have had so many scary, scary moments where I didn't think I was strong enough. I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think I was capable. I just had so much negativity and so many programs that said you can't, you shouldn't, don't, it's scary, it's dangerous. Like there's all of these limitations that have shown up. But here's the choice. The choice was to not broadcast and not put out on social media and not even really talk too much about those aspects within myself. They're very private and I keep them to myself for the most part, most of the time. I'm not perfect at it, but most of the time I choose to keep that stuff quietly within me. Those are my Jabberwockies. Those are the things that need to be slayed, are the things that spew the negativity, that spew the ideas of limitation. Those are the parts within me that really don't deserve to be broadcast very much. And I'm trying to see. Oh, good. I want to be able to get, there we go. I'm using a recording format here that's different than Facebook, so I want to make sure that I get to see everybody's comments. So good morning, Tad. Hello, I love you so much. And Petya, I hope I said that right. Thank you for the smiling voice, smiley face. And Emily, hi. So good to see you. So this idea of staying positive, and my friend Cindy said that her intention for the new year, I'm just going to share it, I'm going to put it out there for you, is to be more of a positive nature. And I so support that. And for those who look at others on Facebook and say, oh, their life is so good, oh, their life is so happy, please know that social media is such a facade. There's so little, I mean, there's truth there, but you're not seeing the totality of someone's being. Someone recently said to me, I had this lovely discussion with someone who knew me back 25 years ago. Yikes! That was a whole different version of Melinda for sure. And this person said that, you know, from certain posts in the recent years past, that I looked so happy, and in those moments, sure, I was happy, but that wasn't the totality of my experience for sure. A lot of those behind the scenes or images, or not images, but experiences of being very lonely, very sad, very disconnected. I was working through a lot of Jabberwockies during those times, and so just know that when you look at people in social media, that just know that you're looking at a very small sliver of the totality of someone's experience. When you look at and hear someone's experiences, whether it's good, bad, right, wrong, you're looking at a very small aspect. And so careful with those judgments and with those opinions that get formed based on how people are presenting themselves. And so I want to invite you today to begin to consider, what is it that you want to leave behind in 2016? I know this was a tumultuous year. I laugh because otherwise I would cry. It was really a difficult year. And what is it that you'd like to leave behind in 2016? What is it that you would like to lovingly step away from? What are the Jabberwockies that you could just lay to rest? You don't even have to slay them. You could just leave them just sitting. But I invite you to leave them sitting with love and consciousness. Letting them sit with love and consciousness would look like this. If there's this idea that, oh, I'm trying to find one. I'll use one that I just recently used with a client. This idea that I don't deserve happiness, I don't deserve health, I don't deserve wealth, I don't deserve a healthy relationship, whatever it is you feel you don't deserve. You could imagine that idea forming in your hands as a solidified object. Give it color, give it texture, give it weight, give it temperature, but see that idea, your Jabberwocky of limitation, see it in your hand, give it color, shape, and then I want to invite you to infuse that with love and consciousness, the understanding that that Jabberwocky taught you something. That Jabberwocky was able to give you some kind of awareness. It helped you grow, it helped you expand, whether it was through positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement. Usually the ones that are teaching us through negative reinforcement are the ones that we want to leave behind, or the ones that need to be slain. Slayed? Slayed. But if you infuse it with love and consciousness of, this doesn't serve me, this is what I choose to not perpetuate, this is what I'm not going to rebroadcast on social media, this is the one that needs to come to an end so that I can move forward in a more positive, influential way, internally and externally. And then if you imagine it then going back to its source, I return to sender with love and consciousness. I return to the origination of this concept, this idea. And you literally see it letting it go and watch it go through time, touching every single person that in some way fed into that idea. You have actually changed the mind, the collective mind. You've changed it by infusing a concept I don't deserve with love and consciousness and awareness, with the understanding that it did serve you to some degree, and there's a higher, more evolved way that you could learn and grow. And when you release it back into the sea of consciousness, back into the one mind, with that love and understanding and awareness infused into it, you change every single person that ever touched that idea, which is everyone. So it's a really powerful way to slay your Jabberwockies, to stand alone with this idea and choose consciously how you want to move forward. So I invite you to find your inner Alice, that magical Mad Hatter within you, to keep alive within you the hopes, the dreams, the ideals, to keep within you the intentions of moving forward in a new way. Absolutely carry those with you into the new year, for sure. And look at all the Jabberwockies that can just lay down and rest, that you can just thank you for being in my world, thank you for showing me my inner courage, my inner strength, my inner creativity, thank you for showing me. And we're done. You don't have to continue the battle with the Jabberwocky. You can walk away from it, you can slay it, you can send it back through time, space, through all your ancestors with love and consciousness. So thank you all for those who have shown up for me in the last few weeks. You've really challenged me to look at myself in new ways. You've helped me remember myself. Thank you so much, Kurt, for helping me remember ways that I've been and people that I've been with and experiences I've had. Thank you, Allie, for supporting my my inner Alice and continuing to let her be in my unabashedly way, me. This is who I am. This is how I am. It's so great to be able to stand in my truth, as painful as it's been, sometimes to walk away from situations, from people, from organizations that didn't support my inner Alice, that really became in and of itself my own Jabberwocky, so that I could know my inner courage, so that I can stand in my inner strength and continue to refine that and hone that. So what is it you want to leave in 2016? What is it that you want to carry forward into 2017? What is it that you can thank deeply with lots of love and appreciation for teaching you, for showing you you? What is it that is going to help you grow into your most authentic, truest self? So much love to you all. Thank you all for showing up and supporting me, for enjoying these, for passing them along. Please do share. I love to see these messages going out and touching those people that in some way can be inspired by them. So much love to you as you step into the holidays. Do it gracefully, do it kindly, within yourself most of all. Be gentle. Put down the Vogel sword, the Vopal, that's what it was. It was a Vopal sword. Put them down. Quit beating yourself up. Use them on the things that are creating the limitation in your life, but not against yourself. Put the Vopal sword down if you're using it against yourself. Kindness, gentleness, love, and compassion. That's what I'm choosing to step into 2017 with. So, much love to you, and I will talk to me and the Mad Hatter within me. We'll talk to you soon. Very, very many blessings to you through the holidays. Take good care of you. We'll see you soon.